When we refer to a dog as a high-end needs dog, it's a dog that's got maybe more complex needs, sort of emotionally, training requirements, behavioural needs than some of the other dogs that we take in. We really aim to understand and treat each dog as an individual, and therefore each dog has its own bespoke care system and rehoming system, and within that some dogs just become a little bit more complex than others. Sadly, I think we're seeing a higher ask for us to support these dogs with these higher end sort of care needs. We do try to help as many people as we can, and we do try to help as many dogs as we can. We're getting more dogs with a background of coming from puppy farms, for example. These dogs will be incredibly fearful. They'll have anxieties and phobias that might result in them hiding from people and being afraid of cars and different things they'll see, different stimulus they'll see outside. We take in stray dogs with unknown histories and unknown behaviours, and we'll also take in dogs that have shown aggressive behaviours that lead up to things like biting in their previous homes, and we'll try to establish an assessment and some training, some behavioural rehabilitation to see if we can place this dog out successfully again. Well, Grim, we have a wealth of knowledge and expertise in rehoming and rehabilitating some of these more difficult high-end cases. We've got lots of our team that are behaviourists qualified through regulated organisations, and we've got years and years of experience. So I feel we're in a strong place to try and give every one of these dogs a second chance the best way we possibly can.
So our high-end dog population resides in the kennel block with our most experienced dog trainers. The first thing that we really do is to make sure that the dog's on an appropriate diet and rule out any potential medical causes that could attribute to a change in behavior. The most crucial foundation to start any dog training is to make sure that the handler and the dog have a very strong relationship. So we do this through introducing basic training, doing fun games such as scent work or agility. Every individual dog has a specific training plan and a weekly activity planner depending on that individual dog. The first step of really successfully rehabilitating any dog is to get a really good understanding of the dog's motivation and the dog's emotion. So for example, why is he barking at other dogs or other people? Initially, we want to give the dog better coping mechanisms, but ultimately we would like to change the dog's emotional response to previous stressful situations. This is done very gradually. We use science-based training methods, and it requires close and regular follow-ups within the team as well. Successfully rehoming high-end need dogs can be quite challenging. It can be quite time-consuming. It's a very emotional process as well. But it's just so rewarding. It's very rewarding to see a dog become more outgoing, more confident, more resilient, and just an overall happier dog.
When we have dogs that are presented to us that we deem to have a sort of a higher risk of these higher aggressive behaviours, so things such as biting, it can place us in a really difficult position where we have to use all our expertise, all our knowledge to say, is it safe and responsible to place this dog out somewhere? So we have to make this risk assessment in terms of what's the severity, how hard will it be if a dog was going to bite somebody, what's the likely outcome, how likely is it to display this, and can we do anything to prevent that dog from biting or reduce the risk of it biting? Sometimes that can leave us in a really tricky situation, because if we can't quite understand it, if we can't predict why, and sometimes you can't always predict why a dog might bite somebody, it makes it very difficult to give that owner responsible information to say, this is how to live safely with this dog. In some cases, we've got our heads together and we just find a risk to be too high of that dog displaying a highly aggressive behaviour to somebody. We will have to question whether euthanasia is the most responsible outcome for that dog. And sadly, in some cases, that will result in a dog being put to sleep. Thankfully, the majority of these cases have got happy endings. The second chance works, the training, the rehabilitation, the assessment. We feel confident that we've got information to place that dog successfully, and that's a really rewarding part of what we do.
One of my favorite dogs during my time here is Harry. He was a typical one-year-old Doberman. I mean, he was jumping up, mouthing, acting quite inappropriately with dogs and people. So we've put a lot of work in training this dog, training some impulse control, some general manners, and just teaching him what the appropriate way is to interact with people and with dogs. We had the opportunity to meet his new owners. They're just amazing. They totally understand his need. They were fully on board with his training. They were able to give him, this amazing home. With our high-end knee dogs as well, what we do is we often go out. Once they're rehomed, we will do a home visit just to make sure that everything's going all right, to see if we can provide any more, information, any support that we can give. And it's just amazing as well. Very rewarding to see a dog that we've worked with in a home.
It's imperative really that as soon as an owner starts to realise that their dog has got a problem that they are struggling to resolve, that they speak up and get help. It's far better to get that support in the early stages, because then it will be easier to put right. The longer a dog practices a behaviour that an owner finds unacceptable, the harder it can be to resolve. Wood Green offer a multitude of different classes, some fun classes like agility and trick training, but most importantly we run low-cost puppy training classes and adult beginner training classes. These classes are run by qualified dog trainers / behaviourists. The good news is the old adage is not true. You absolutely can teach an old dog new tricks.